So the royal journalists are already portraying Kate as the victim and Meghan as the villain, even though Meghan hasn't even arrived back in the UK yet. So the people at the Daily Telegraph, the royal editors, the royal experts, journalists, whatever, are all laying it on thick today about how Kate has gone through the most traumatic time in her life, how she's had to deal with her cancer journey, her chemo, remission, and how it's been the most difficult time in her life. And now she's got Meghan to deal with when she gets back in the UK. And they've said that Kate's only had 5 minutes of peace and she's finally back in action. And I thought, back in action? She hasn't done anything. She did 3 days in July and that was it, 3 days. And they were at Wimbledon. And I thought, back in action? You're making out like she's a workhorse or something. She's done nothing. She's literally done nothing. Yet you're criticising Meghan, who's working her guts out. And you're just praising this lazy layabout for doing nothing. And it just sounds to me like loads of reasons and excuses and attempts to try and make out that Kate's the innocent party and Meghan's been the guilty person all along, but it's just not true. And now she's got to worry all about Meghan over again. They're saying she's worried that she's going to shout at her and bully her and dictate her. And we know that's just not true. That's Kate. And the people at the Daily Telegraph are moaning that it's not fair because Kate's got Prince George all ready for Eton for his first day. And can I just get that straight quickly? Kate doesn't have to get George ready. She's got people doing that for her. She's not going to be doing anything. She's going to be sitting with her feet up doing absolutely nothing. It's not her getting George ready. It's all the aides and all the servants and everyone that organises all these events. It's not Kate. So stop making out like she's actually doing something because she's doing nothing. And now they're saying that it's all going to be focused around Archie and Lilibet attending a British school in the UK. And they don't like it because apparently it's taken the limelight away from the future king, Prince George. Well, perhaps if you didn't talk about Harry and Meghan, people at the Daily Telegraph, then perhaps the attention won't go away from William and Kate. Why are you talking about Harry and Meghan if you don't like them? It's ridiculous. Surely you should be talking about William and Kate and Prince George. Just take Harry and Meghan out of the equation if you don't like them. It's so simple. And Camilla Tominey, why is she still banging on about Kate's cancer journey? I mean, look, it's been 2 years and 8 months since Kate supposedly got told that she had cancer. And why are the royal experts still using the cancer card? I mean, it's like a sympathy card almost. It's like, oh, well, poor Kate, she's just gotten over the most traumatic experience in her life. And now she's got Meghan coming back to the UK and that's all she needs. And it's almost like they're all saying that Meghan wants to cause an uproar with Kate and that Meghan wants to be the queen. And I'm thinking, it sounds very pro-Kate and very anti-Meghan. And why are we talking about the cancer? Why are they talking about her health journey? I mean, loads of people go through cancer every day. They don't get championed. They just have to deal with it. Yet this one gets spoken about like she's a saint, she's God, but she's done nothing. She's had servants waiting on her hand, foot and finger. I mean, she's had to do nothing. Everyone else is paying her bills. I mean, this woman is treated like a queen. And we got these people at the Daily Telegraph today talking about her like she's this poor, innocent woman that's got no help, no one supporting her. Surely William should be by her side. Obviously he isn't. They obviously know they're separated, hence why they're having to really vamp it up about how Kate's the victim. Kate's the villain. We all know she's the villain. And we've just got Meghan being the villain. And again, the timing of this is very suspicious. Why now? Why are we hearing all this about Meghan again? It's just like Oprah. Just before Oprah Winfrey did her interview of Harry and Meghan, all these bullying accusations came out, and even someone at Archwell admitted that they released those bullying accusations on purpose, even though they knew they weren't true. They needed something to try and taint Meghan just before the interview went out. And that was the whole purpose of releasing those allegations. And they knew they weren't true, but they had to put something out because they knew that Harry and Meghan were going to talk the truth about what Kate, William and all the other members of the royal family were like with them. And yeah, but I mean, all I'm hearing today is all this nauseating, sycophantic rubbish from these journalists and royal experts, because they secretly know that Meghan is literally going to knock Kate off the podium. I mean, Meghan returning to the UK will completely overshadow Kate. And this is why the press and the journalists are having to build up Kate, because they know how dull and useless she is on her own. She needs the press behind her to keep her image and her reputation going. I mean, have they all forgotten that Kate questioned how dark Harry and Meghan's baby skin would be? She made Meghan cry. She interfered with her wedding arrangements. She moaned about the bridesmaids' dresses. She was briefing the press untrue stories about Meghan. She went to Camilla Tominey and told her that Meghan made me cry. Camilla Tominey wrote the article and said, oh, Meghan made her cry. And she damn well knew that she hadn't. And yet she's still sticking up for the future queen that made the Duchess of Sussex cry. I mean, it's ridiculous how they can get round all this stuff. I mean, Meghan did go to the Queen once and say, look, I've got a problem with Kate. She's been not very pleasant with me. And she said, look, I can't help it. She can't be tainted because she's the future queen. How is that help? How is that supporting someone? Poor Meghan, she just had no help or support in the royal family at all. It's like, we can't do anything about Kate being like that with you. You just got to get on with it because her reputation can't be tarnished. It's sad that they got to protect the future queen, even though they know Meghan's right, what she's saying, but they have to protect Kate. It's absolutely disgusting. And it's all pro-Kate and anti-Meghan. And this sounds to me like William and Kate want all the attention and people need to focus on them 24/7. And yet when Harry and Meghan, when they move back to the UK, they're going to receive global media attention, and William and Kate will just find it unacceptable and unfair. How is it unfair? They're better at the job. Everyone knows that. But the journalists all know that the spotlight is going to be solely focused on the Sussex family and not the Waleses family. And no one likes it. All the British journalists are all at their panic stations. Oh God, what are we going to do? The monarchy's going to go under, the gravy train's going to stop. Well, that's true. You've got to deal with it. The Sussexes are the real deal, and the Waleses are just nobodies. They don't make a difference. They only worry about themselves. They don't make change. Harry and Meghan show up, do good, shine a spotlight on all the things that matters to them in the world and all the causes that are close to Meghan's heart. And they're all saying that Harry and Meghan should have warned Kate earlier about them moving back to the UK. Why do they need warning earlier? Is it because they know that they need to prepare themselves more? Do they need more PR lined up, installed, ready to put out when Harry and Meghan come back to the UK with their 2 children? I mean, look, it sounds to me like William and Kate can't even stand on their own 2 feet, so they need the press on their side. Oh yes, we've got the press. They'll just put out some good stories about us. We'll be fine. And it's not fair like that, because Harry and Meghan actually do good themselves. They don't need the press to write good stuff about them to be noticed. They get noticed by their actions and what they say. They don't need to go to the press and go, could you write this about me? Oh, could you put that bit in to make it sound good about me? They do that with William and Kate, but they don't do it with Harry and Meghan. Every day, articles, news outlets, everything, Harry and Meghan, negative, negative, negative. Have you ever wondered why William and Kate's is always positive? Because they have to inform the press. Can you please make it positive about the future king and queen? We can't afford it to be negative. But you just don't see it, anyone on here. You're all blind. You've all been brainwashed. You all think William and Kate walk on water. They don't. And Harry and Meghan are coming back, and the Waleses will just have to put up with the limelight being on Harry and Meghan and not on them. And the people at the Daily Telegraph need to stop lying and to stop bringing up Kate's cancer diagnosis 2 years and 8 months ago. We don't need to hear about it anymore. It's getting boring. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the Sussexes coming back. Obviously, Meghan's been offered lots of acting roles, so it's going to be exciting what she's going to be in. But yeah, just good on Harry and Meghan. I want them to be free and just live their life. Don't worry about William and Kate and what they're up to. See, Harry and Meghan aren't focused on William and Kate, but William and Kate are focused on them. They're rent-free in their minds every day.
Squaddies, check out the headline machine right now. It's running on pure drama and zero facts. They've already written the script, shot the movie, and handed out the victim awards. And for what? Meghan hasn't even stepped off the plane yet. She's chilling across the ocean, minding her business, running her projects, and living her life. Meanwhile, the UK media panel experts are sitting in air-conditioned studios, breathing heavy into their microphones, warning the nation about an incoming storm. It's hilarious when you think about it. Regular people are out here worrying about real-life problems, rent, bills, groceries, getting through the work week. But according to the tabloids, the biggest emergency facing the British Isles is that a successful, educated woman might land at Heathrow Airport. They're hyping this up like it's a pro wrestling pay-per-view match. They've already cast Kate as the defenseless underdog and painted Meghan as the big bad villain pulling up to ruin the party. Why? Because fear and outrage sell papers. They can't just let her exist. The moment her name enters the room, the outrage industry gets a massive boost. They are literally getting panic-stricken over a footprint that hasn't even hit the tarmac. Meghan hasn't even arrived in Britain, yet the drama has already been written. She hasn't stepped off the plane, she hasn't met Kate, she hasn't said anything, yet we're already being fed this storyline about Meghan's return creating some huge rivalry. Come on, how do you create a feud between two people before either person has actually done anything? That's like booking the referee before the football match has even started. And this is where regular people need to pay attention. When the media keeps repeating Meghan versus Kate, they are already telling the public how to interpret Meghan before she even arrives. Because let's be honest, rivalry sells. Meghan comes home and spends time with family isn't exactly going to set the headlines on fire. But Meghan's return sparks tensions with Kate. Now everybody clicks. That's the game. And Meghan could literally do anything, and somehow it can become a royal drama. Smile, message to Kate. Don't smile, tension. Wear blue, copying Kate. Wear black, sending a signal. At that point, Meghan might as well wear a bin bag and call it a day. So let's wait for reality. Let Meghan arrive. Let her see family. Let her work. Let her live. Then judge what actually happened, not what the tabloids predicted would happen. Because if Meghan is being cast as the villain before she has even walked through the door, they're not reporting a feud, they're trying to create one.
Squaddies, let's get real about how the media handles the workload here, because the double standard is out of control. If Meghan launches a business, runs a charity initiative, or closes a massive deal, the media pulls out a magnifying glass to pick it apart. She's an educated, self-made woman who puts in the work, but they act like she's stepping out of line just for breathing. They shift the goalposts every single time. She could build a school with her own two hands, and the headline would be, "Why Meghan's brick choice is an insult to tradition." Then you look at Kate. She shows up to wave at a crowd for 15 minutes, cuts a ribbon, sits down for tea, and the press loses its mind. Stunning, brave, what a hero. It's like working a full-time shift while your co-worker gets a gold star just for showing up on time and not spilling coffee on themselves. For normal folks watching this, it's completely absurd. In the real world, you actually have to deliver results to get praise, but in royal PR land, doing the absolute bare minimum gets you a victory parade, while actual hustle gets you dragged through the mud. The math just isn't mathing. Now let's address the latest card they're playing, because the media gymnastics on this one are wild. Look, health stuff is serious. Nobody is wishing bad health on anyone. We're human, we get it, and real-life health struggles deserve basic decency. But the media? Oh, they saw an opportunity and ran a marathon with it. They are using Kate's medical situation like a giant untouchable get-out-of-jail-free card. The minute anyone brings up actual history, like how cold and shady she was towards Meghan from day one, the commentators jump up to yell, "How dare you? She's been through so much." Hold on a second. Since when does going through a tough time magically erase how you treated people in the past? It's like that one person in your office or family who was mean to you for years, but the second things go sideways for them, suddenly you're the villain if you even remember what they did. The press is using her health as a human shield to scrub the record clean and turn her into an infallible saint, all while still painting Meghan as the mean outsider. It's total manipulation, and regular people see right through the act. Let's cut through the noise and talk about how the British press uses every single trick in the book to rewrite history. Notice how the moment anyone brings up legitimate criticism, how Meghan was iced out, how the tabloids ran wild, how certain royals behaved behind closed doors, the commentator machine immediately retreats behind a massive PR wall. They throw up the ultimate shield and start yelling, "How dare you? Don't you know what she's been through?" Hold on a second. Since when does a health update act as a total wipe of the official record? Let's talk about the timeline. The press expects us to completely forget the years of documented frostiness, the leaking to tabloids, and the outright calculated behavior aimed at making Meghan look like the villain. Instead of holding anyone in that palace accountable, the commentators use medical framing as an unassailable past to transform Kate into an untouchable victim and scrub her history completely clean. And who always pays the price in this narrative? Meghan. It's the ultimate double standard. For Kate, endless sympathy, instant cover, and a total pass on past behavior. For Meghan, continuous interrogation, endless goalpost shifting, and constant villainization for simply minding her business across the ocean. Regular people see through this game. If a coworker spent years being mean to you, a change in their personal life doesn't magically rewrite the fact that they were cold to you in the first place. Both things can exist at the same time, but the media wants to force a fairy tale where one woman is permanently saintly and the other is permanently evil. It is time to stop letting commentators use personal circumstances as a weapon to shut down valid points. Stop using sympathy to silence truth. Stop giving out permanent halos, and stop forcing Meghan to play the designated villain in a scripted media circus.
Squaddies, here is why the press just can't keep their hands off Harry and Meghan. Why are they still completely obsessed with a couple living thousands of miles away across an entire ocean? It's simple. Harry and Meghan broke the code, and the old-school royal machine is still throwing a massive tantrum over it. Meghan showed up smart, charming, totally independent, and ready to actually connect with people. She didn't need their outdated playbook to shine, and that terrified them. When she walked away and built her own success on her own terms, it proved something dangerous, that nobody actually needs that dusty, rigid system to be relevant. So what do the tabloids and their royal experts do when the old system looks boring by comparison? They turn Harry and Meghan into the ultimate scapegoats. Without a villain to drag through the mud, their whole gossip pipeline collapses. They need Meghan's name in the headlines every single day to pay their bills and protect the main palace narrative. For the rest of us watching this from the outside, it's like watching an ex who blocked you 5 years ago, still posting vague rants about you every Tuesday. Move on already. But they can't, because deep down they know the spark left the building when Harry and Meghan caught that flight, and no amount of fake drama is ever going to bring it back. Why can't the media just leave Harry and Meghan alone? They're thousands of miles away, they're doing their own thing, they're raising their children, they're building projects outside the royal family, yet somehow Harry and Meghan still keep finding their way into the headlines. Why? Because I think the Sussexes represent something the traditional royal machine has never been completely comfortable with: independence. Harry and Meghan showed that you can step outside the royal system and still build an audience, create businesses, support causes, and attract global attention. You don't necessarily need the palace press office standing behind you. You don't need a royal diary telling you where to be. And Meghan especially refused to simply disappear into the background. She's got her own voice, her own ideas, her own platform. And that's where the media narrative gets interesting. Because if you convince people that Meghan is irrelevant, but then keep writing about everything she does, you're creating a pretty obvious contradiction. Nobody cares about Meghan. Meanwhile, Meghan posted on Instagram. Meghan wore this. Meghan said that. Meghan might return to Britain. Pick a lane. And that's why I think the constant criticism can become its own cycle. The more Meghan does independently, the more there is to talk about. Then the headlines turn that attention into another argument about Meghan, then the public reacts, then another headline appears about the reaction, and suddenly we're back on the merry-go-round again. Meanwhile, Harry and Meghan are just living their lives. And here's the truth. You can't seriously argue that they're irrelevant while spending years monitoring them. That's not indifference, that's attention. And perhaps that's what makes the Sussex story so difficult for the old royal media relationship. Harry and Meghan showed that life outside the palace can still be big, successful, and interesting. You can leave the institution and still have a voice. You can choose independence and still command attention. And if that idea makes some people uncomfortable, attacking Meghan isn't going to make it disappear. Because the Sussexes aren't sitting around waiting for the palace to tell them what their next chapter should look like. They're writing it themselves. And maybe that's exactly why the obsession never seems to end.